So by clicking on this video, you already know that we have in our possession the last of the Subaru Outback wagons. Now, the next generation for 2026 has been quite controversial, and we decided that it was time that we picked up the last of the wagons because we really like the way that they have changed over the years. But the question is, did we get rid of anything, or did we just add to the fleet? So why don't I turn around and show you our new Outback, and I will give you all of the answers. So this is my and Dane's new 2025 Subaru Outback. And by the orange accents, you might think it's a wilderness, but actually we bought the premium, which is now the new base model for Subarus going into 2026. In 2025, you could find a base model, but they were few and far between. So premium has pretty much been the new base model for a while now. Now, if you've been following our channel for any length of time, you know that we previously had a 2023 Subaru Outback Wilderness that ended up getting totaled, and we ended up replacing it with a Ford Ranger XL. So the question is, did we replace any vehicle, or did we just add to our fleet of vehicles? And the answer to that is yes, we replaced something. And no, it wasn't the ZR2. So yes, it was. The 2025 Ford Ranger XL was traded in for this bad boy here. And it was no fault of the Ranger itself, but it wasn't an Outback. And if anybody's driven an Outback and has gone to other vehicles, some of the things leave you disappointed. And I will have another video kind of going piece by piece between the two vehicles for anybody who's in the market and is curious. Now, I really liked our Ranger for a lot of different reasons, but I really missed my Outback Wilderness. And why didn't I buy a Wilderness? It's because they are super expensive. And for $46,000, I am in beginning like half-ton pickup territory for 46 grand. So it was really hard for me to swallow that kind of pricing. Well, this guy was way cheaper. He was the same price across the board as my XL Ranger. So I was able to actually get into this guy for not owing anything extra, which, you know, is kind of a weird thing to be like, oh, you could have kept the truck. And it's like, we didn't have the ZR2. I think the XL is still a wonderful buy for any buyer. But for me, since we already had the ZR2, I really missed my Outback. I missed its versatility. And so I decided it was time, like, even though I had the Ranger for about 4 or 5 months, I was just missing my Outback. And so we initiated the trade, and here is, this one's name is Adventure. So this is Adventure, the Subaru Outback wagon. And so he will have custom plates coming, but they're not here yet still. But I have done some changes, obviously, to it. In honesty, I have been driving this for almost 2,800 miles since we bought it. I just wanted to get some stuff done before we introduced it. And also the weather's been kind of crappy and I've been busy, yada, yada, yada. You know, any excuse will do at this point. But so I did add the hood graphic. And so I did all this before the weather's been getting bad, and this might be controversial, but I did add an orange accent to the front because I really felt like the front needed something since it wasn't that wilderness package. And then I also decided to go kind of cross-track, and I added the color accents on the side here, on the top. And of course the wilderness swoosh, and I did add orange to the Outback, and I did modify Ranger graphics. So these were meant for the Ranger, and then so I modified them to fit the Subaru, and they turned out pretty decent overall. For anybody who's not familiar with Subaru, the premium comes with a lot of things that you do get with the Outback Wilderness, and so that's why it made it easier for me to purchase this vehicle. So we do end up with our powered seats. You would not think that you would get them, but you do. We do, however, have the cloth, which actually I prefer because the StarTechs we're having issues with that one. We never discussed it, but the seat kept undoing itself on the bottom. But these cloth ones seem to hold up. We had a 2015 and loved the cloth. It does have the same slow radio system from the Wilderness, but this one seems to be doing way better than that one. This one seems to be upgraded and it actually functions the way it should. If that changes, we'll let you know. You also get your heated seats, which you can't see since they're not on the screen. But yes, you don't get dual X mode and all these other things, but you know, we have equipped it with Ascendant mode, so that's all we really need. So we do have just single X mode on this guy, but we found ourselves using just the first version of X mode more often. So here's the back seat. Everything's very similar to your Wilderness. And yes, even though this isn't a Wilderness, we still have the power lift gate, and there's a bunch of stuff back here right now because I've been in soccer mode. And we still have this wonderful shade that we can pull over. Everything is so similar, and we even have the moonroof. All in all, over the Outback Wilderness, besides not having the more aggressive look in the tires and a little bit more ground clearance, like, it's pretty similar. Like, we even have the moonroof. So will I miss my Wilderness? Yes. Am I kind of a little bit disappointed that the Outback Wildernesses are still so much money? Yes. But the good news is that we have a plan. This guy is going to become the poor man's Outback Wilderness, and we will take you along on this journey as we do it. So skid plate is the first edition. We will be doing that soon because we already graphicsed her. Like, Adventure here has the graphics going, so she is quite ready for her skid plate at this point. So we will be skid plating her, and then when we new tires, we are going to upgrade the tires, and probably might, if we go crazy, we might even do a little bit of a lift to get her up to that ground clearance of the other one. Yes, we will never get the dual X mode, but as many of you off-roaders know, tires make all the difference over electronic gimmicks. Tires can save your bacon. So there's never been a time where I've been disappointed by having more aggressive tires. So eventually, when she wears out her tires, she will be getting some new ones here. But I think Adventure here is ready to join the channel along with Grizzly, and we're glad to have our Outback content coming up here soon. If there's things that you want to see with this Outback, please let us know in the comments below, because we're still developing ideas on what to do with her. Now, I will say that it is a commuter on a daily basis, so we will be doing some commuting content. We will be covering gas mileage, like how it comes stock versus when we eventually start changing things up, so that you can kind of see what things change over time and how it affects MPG, how it affects other things. We have done a break-in oil change on it, but we will do an oil change video on it once it needs one again. We always do a break-in oil change around 1,000 on all our vehicles just to be safe. Yeah, some people call it overkill. I call it just peace of mind. But I am excited to share with you Adventure, and let me know what you guys want to see with it coming up here soon. Of course, it is going into winter. We will try to get it hopefully at least in a flexi spot here soon to compare it to the Wilderness, to really see how it does compared to that. But we will have more content coming up here very quickly, and we will definitely be taking any comments or recommendations that you guys want to see, since this is pretty much like we bought this and we haven't done anything with it yet. So anywho, I am rambling at this point. Please comment down below, like, and share this video with your friends. Know what you think. Were we correct buying the last of the wagons instead of waiting for the 2026 at this point? I think we were right, but let us know down in the comments below, and we will hopefully have some Outback content here coming soon. But bye for now.